Hi Kipsters, hi families. I'm so excited for today's writing because I get to share a story about something I used to do every day when we were at school together. So today, we're going to go back and start writing a short story that's kind of like what we did last week. We're going to start with using the words first, then, and last. So we're going to tell a story in order of how we would do something. So when I'm telling my story, I'm going to tell you what happens first. I'm going to tell you what I do next, and then I'm going to tell you what I do last. When I'm making sure I'm telling you the story, I want to be really, really clear so that you know each and every step I take to do this thing. So what I'm going to write about is getting ready for lunch. I do this all the time at home and definitely at school when we were together. So when I'm thinking about writing my story in order of what happens, I need to make sure I'm really, really detailed and clear of what steps I needed to take. So let me think. We're at school, math is over, we just had recess, and now it's time for lunch. Well, before I can get my lunch, I have to make sure I drop off A and T to their lunchroom so that they can go through the line and eat their lunch. Oh, that's really, really good. Maybe I should write that first. So first, I drop A and T off at lunch to make sure they're all situated and they're at their table. Okay, after I take A and T to lunch, what do? Okay, so I take A and T to the lunchroom. They sit down at the table. Oh, then I walk to the apartment where all the teachers go to grab my lunch out of the refrigerator. Oh, that happens next. Okay, so first, I go drop A and T off at the lunchroom and they sit down at their table. Then I walk to the apartment where all the teachers and staff go. And I go to the refrigerator, I open the door, and I take my lunch out. Okay, so my lunch is in the refrigerator. It's really, really cold. So I definitely need to warm it up. Oh, that's what happens last. So after I take my lunch out of the refrigerator, I walk over to the microwave. I warm up my food so it's nice and warm. And then I take it to the table where I'm going to sit. Whoa, so many steps. Let me go back so I can remember everything that I just said. So before I can even go get my lunch, first I walk A and T out to the lunch line, and I make sure that they sit at their lunch table. So that happens first. Then I walk to the apartment where all the teachers go, and I go to the refrigerator and open up the door so I can grab my lunch out. And because my lunch is so cold, I then walk to the microwave, warm up my lunch, and then sit down at my table. Wow, after I'm done doing all those things, I'm ready to eat lunch. Let's see how I put those steps in my short story using the words first, then, and last to tell you the steps I take when eating my lunch. I said, first, I drop the A&T students off at the lunchroom to get their lunch. Oh yeah, that's what I told you happens first in my story. Then, I walk into the apartment and open the refrigerator door. That's right, I have to open the door to even take my lunch out. That makes sense. Last, I take out my lunch, warm it up, and take it to the table. Now, I'm ready to eat my lunch. I have to make sure I do all these steps every day when we're at school in order to get ready for my lunch. So first, I take A and T to the lunchroom and make sure they're seated down, and they have their lunch. Then I walk to the apartment and open the refrigerator door. After that door is open, I take my lunch out. Since it's cold, I have to go to the microwave and warm it up. So now I warm up my lunch, and then I take it to the table. Now I'm ready to eat. I want you to take a close look at the sentence starters I used. I used the words first, then, and last to tell my story in order of how it happens. So today, you're going to write your own story using the words first, then, and last, but you're not going to write about getting ready for lunch. You're going to write about getting ready for bed. It's something you all do every single day. So, your prompt is getting ready for bed. Take 10 silent seconds and just think, what do I do when I'm getting ready for bed? You might go brush your teeth first. You might then put on your pajamas. And then you get in the bed and you pull the blankets up really, really high so you're nice and warm. I don't know. Those are the things I do to get ready for bed. But you might do something different. So think about the things you do when you're getting ready for bed. Think about what you do first. Think about what happens next. And then think about what you do last when you're getting ready for bed. Then you're going to use these sentence starters to help you write your story, just like I did. You're going to write first and tell me what happens first. You're going to write then, tell me what happens next. And then you're going to write last and tell me what happens last when you're getting ready for bed. Don't worry if you weren't able to write first, then, and last that quickly. If you push the space bar on your laptop or push the pause button on the video, you'll be able to pause me talking and see your sentence starters and be able to copy them down. Great. Moving on to things you need to remember. You hear these every single day at the end of the writing video, but just keep them in your mind so when you're writing, you can go from being a good writer to a great writer. Always start your sentences with a capital letter just like I did. I started with a capital F here, capital T here, capital L here. I also capitalized A and T because that's a place. That's a short way of saying the school I went to, A and T. That's what our classroom is named after, A and T. Make sure you end all sentences with some type of punctuation mark. You can't just write a sentence and then not show me how it ends. So make sure you have a period, a question mark if you're asking a question, or an exclamation point if you're really, really excited about something. So my first sentence, I said, first I dropped the A&T students off at the lunchroom to get their lunch. I ended with a period because I wasn't asking a question and I wasn't really excited when I said that. But my last sentence, it says, now I'm ready to eat my lunch. I was really excited when writing that, so I made sure to put an exclamation point at the end of that sentence. Make sure you write nice and neat so anyone who wants to read your work can read it with no problem. You want to draw a detailed picture with labels. We are getting so much better at drawing pictures and labeling them to match our story. Great job. And then let's say you get to a tricky word that you don't know how to spell. That's okay. You know a really good strategy you can use to fix that problem. You can say the word, stretch the word out, and break the word down for tricky words. So don't forget. Let's say you're trying to spell a tricky word. Say the word, stretch the word out, break the word down, and that will probably be a good strategy for you to use when spelling tricky words. I can't wait to see the step that you all take when you're getting ready for bed. Bye, Kipsters. Bye, families.